Foreign direct investment or FDI refers to a long-term investment by an investor in an enterprise in another economy, resulting in lasting interest with significant influence over the overseas enterprise. FDI typically occurs through mergers and acquisitions or setting up of business operations by investors in foreign economy. The investors is known as the direct investor, while the overseas enterprise is known as the direct investment enterprise. For example, when a Malaysian corporation invests in an overseas business, the Malaysian company is the direct investor, and the overseas firm is the direct investment enterprise. The transaction captured will be recorded in Malaysia's outward FDI. Conversely, inward FDI is recorded when a foreign direct investor invests in Malaysia. FDI is typically positive, but in some instances could be negative, such as when the value of loans from the direct investment enterprise to the direct investor is larger than the loans from the direct investor to the direct investment enterprise. The host economy benefits from FDI through job creation as well as knowledge and technological transfers. Meanwhile, for investors, undertaking FDI helps them build distribution networks and gain access to new technologies or natural resources.
Explain one of the issues faced by FDI. The terms substitution and complementarity are not clearly defined. This can be caused by the absence of policy to measure specifically to determine any changes in the investment or the production processes. It is hard to find a transparent hypothetical to which the current circumstance is being thought about. Let's take a look of a short clip as an example.
How are we gonna get it in the truck?
Well, Marvin said that we could use some of his guys to help out. Hey guys, hello? I'm Carl. This is my truck. I need some help moving this equipment in. Marvin said that you guys might help me.
Truth be told, the option in the contrast to the foundation or development of host country creation may have been no fares and no deals by the parent firm or its country. That hypothetical would probe the end that the creation and the exchange were either not related or were integral rather than the clear replacement that shows up in the previous information.
Hello, so I want to continue my point about FDI issue, which is inflation in the economy. So basically, terms in economy, inflation is increasing in goods prices and decreasing in purchasing power by the citizen. The study indicates that GDP, inflation and the exchange rate are affected to the extent of 46.5% by the FBI. FBI.
FBI, open up!
Okay, sorry. FDI. FDI does not make the GDP to grow, but increases the inflation and has negative effect on the exchange rate. We all know when the inflation rate is too high, of course, it is not good for the economy or even to the individuals. Inflation will always reduce the value of money. So basically, inflation is not good and it will hurt the economy, and it has a big negative effect on the FDI.
Okay, so for this part, I will give you a company example of FDI, that is Apple company. Apple has built factories in China to make its products, so it has invested in China, which is a foreign direct investment. In the recent years, FDI has increased due to three reasons. The first one is the rise of multinational company. The second one is the liberalization of world capital market, and the third one is the liberalization of world economy. In 2017, for example, US-based Apple announced a $507.1 million investment to boost its research and development work in China, Apple's third largest market behind the American and Europe. The announced investment relied on CEO Tim Cook's bullishness toward the Chinese market despite 12% year-over-year decline in Apple Greater China revenue in the quarter preceding the announcement. China economy has been fueled by an influx FDI targeting the nation high manufacturing and services, which according to China Ministry of Commerce grew 11.1% and 20.4% year-over-year respectively in the first half of 2017.
Recommendation in order to improve FDI is to attract quality FDI that connects foreign investors to the local economy of the host country. According to HCOR, CK Borden, Timor and Eric 2020, quality FDI can be described as helping to create decent and value-adding employment, improving the skill base of host economies, facilitating the transfer of technology, expertise, and know-how, increasing the competitiveness of domestic firms and facilitating their access to markets, and operating in a socially and environmentally responsible manner. For the second recommendation is to improve the functioning of financial markets worldwide to allow developing nations to use the FDI. For example, even if FDI-based nations strong financial markets, institutions exist to overcome poor financial markets in host nations and hence increase FDI flows to the developing nations. The third recommendation set up a vendor development program to support the process of matching between the international customers and the local provider. This initiative can provide indigenous suppliers funding options on the basis of purchasing contracts for the international purchases. To enhance the local economic capabilities, it can also repay a manager's wish as a talent scout among local providers in foreign planning.
Foreign direct investment is the process whereby residents of one country acquire ownership of assets for the purpose of controlling the production, distribution, and other activities of a firm in another country. FDI is an investment made by the investors on other enterprises from different economies in order to gain lasting interest and controls. The primary distinction between FDI and portfolio investment is the use of terms such as power and controlling interest, as a portfolio investor does not pursue control or long-term interest. FDI must include the movement of capital from the source country to a host country. The distinguishes between FDI from other type of foreign investment is the aspects of management policy and decision-making power. FDI inflows to developing economies amounted almost twice their FDI outflows. Financial experts agree that the direct investment benefits both the home and the host country, and that the advantages of such ventures exceed the expenses. Foreign direct investment is one of the important determinants of the process of economic growth and development. Foreign direct investment has reached historical milestones during past 3 decades, and it has become significant aspects in the developing world.